Hello there, focused young learners, and welcome to today's Explainer. I am so thrilled you're here with us. Today, we're going to put on our grammar detective hats and explore something that makes our sentences absolutely sparkle and shine. We are talking about adjectives. I just love explaining this topic because, honestly, adjectives are everywhere. They're the secret ingredients that make the stories we tell and the things we talk about so much more interesting. Are you ready to learn? Let's get right into it. Imagine waking up this morning, giving your arms a big stretch, and just taking a look around your room. What do you see? Maybe a bright lamp, a really soft, cozy pillow, or, let's be real, maybe a somewhat messy desk. All of those words, bright, soft, cozy, messy, they're like little describing clues that help us understand the world around us. You know, you're already using these amazing describing words in your daily life without even realizing it. Okay, let's dive into this. We need to know exactly what we're looking for, right? So, what is an adjective? Simply put, an adjective is a word that modifies or gives more information about a noun or a pronoun. You can kind of think of it as a helpful assistant to the noun. It tells us specific things about the noun's quality, its number, or its order. It just paints a much clearer picture in our minds. Now that we've got our foundational rule down, let's walk from your bedroom down to the breakfast table. Section 1, quality, quantity, and number. These are the three main types of describing clues we bump into every single day. Let's look at the first one, the adjective of quality. These are the words that answer the question, what kind? Think about this sentence. The hungry fox chased a cat. If I ask you, hey, what kind of fox was it? You can easily tell me. It was a hungry fox. The word hungry gives us the exact quality of the animal. It completely changes the picture in our head, doesn't it? Next up, as you sit down at the breakfast table, we have adjectives of quantity. These adjectives answer the question, how much? Now, here's a very special teacher tip just for you. Adjectives of quantity mostly describe uncountable nouns. Think about things you can't easily count one by one. Here's a perfect breakfast example for us. There is little water to drink. You wouldn't really say one water, two waters, right? So we use the word little to tell us how much water there actually is. Boom! A giant number 6. Did that wake you up? This brings us to our third type, adjectives of number. While quantity tells us how much for things we can't count, adjectives of number answer the question, how many for things we absolutely can count. They can also tell us the order of something, like first, second, or third. Let's look at this in a sentence you might actually hear at school. I will be absent for 6 days. Days are definitely countable. You can count Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, the whole shebang. So the word 6 is an adjective of number because it tells us exactly how many days a student might be missing class. You guys are doing fantastic so far. Section 2, pop quiz time, quantity versus number. All right, everyone, sit up straight and get those thinking caps on. We're going to test a slightly tricky grammar rule together, but I know you're ready for it. Sometimes the exact same word can be an adjective of quantity or an adjective of number, totally depending on how we use it. Let's think about the word some. I want you to shout out the answer right where you're sitting. Is the word some showing quantity or is it showing number? Think back to what we just learned about countable and uncountable things. Go ahead, make your guess. Now, what's really interesting about this is that the answer is, well, it's both. It all depends on the noun that comes right after it. Take the phrase, I have some food. Food is an uncountable noun. You don't usually walk around saying one food, two foods. So because it's used with an uncountable noun, some acts as an adjective of quantity. It tells us how much. But what if we say, I have some dishes? You can definitely count those dishes as you wash them after breakfast. Because dishes are a countable noun, some becomes an adjective of number here, telling us loosely how many. Brilliant job if you caught that difference. Section 3, where do adjectives go? Now that we've finished breakfast and cleared away all those countable dishes, let's walk over and look out the window at the street. We have all these wonderful describing words, but where do we actually place them in a sentence to make sure our grammar is absolutely spot on? Let's walk through our placement rules. Usually, an adjective comes directly before the noun it modifies. For example, this is a huge palace. See how huge comes right before palace? But, and this brilliantly illustrates how flexible English can be, it can also come beside the noun, like in the sentence, the heat made the child sleepy. Here, sleepy comes right next to the child it's describing. Finally, we can place them after the verb to be, as in, this palace is huge. You are following along so well. I also want to quickly point out that there are other little words that act just like adjectives too. Possessive words and articles are actually types of adjectives. Take a look at the sentence, "Where is your book?" In this case, your is used as a possessive adjective. It gives us more information about the book, specifically who owns it. Just remember one golden rule here. Never separate a noun from another adjective that belongs to it. Keep them close together so your reader knows exactly what you're describing. Section 4. Ordering multiple adjectives. Let's see how this all builds together. As we look out that window, we might see lots of things passing by, like cars zipping down the street. And sometimes one describing word just isn't enough. So what happens when we want to use more than one adjective in front of a noun? Well, let's look at this sentence. She has a big white car. Notice how we put the size, big, before the color, white. So the crucial point is, we do not use a comma or the word and between these two words. It's actually incorrect to say, she has a big, white car, or she has a big and white car. When they're totally different types of adjectives, like size and color, we just list them directly, a big white car. However, the rules change just a little bit if the adjectives are from the exact same group. If a car has two colors, well, those adjectives are from the same group, right? So in that case, we do use the word and. It's perfectly correct to say, she has a red and white car. But here is a super common trap I'll want you to avoid. Do not add the word colored at the very end. Saying she has a red and white colored car is actually incorrect. Just stick to the colors, a red and white car. It's simple, it's clear, and it's perfectly descriptive. You know, you have all been absolutely incredible grammar detectives today. We've explored how adjectives give us the quality, quantity, and number of the things around us, whether we're eating breakfast or just looking out the window. We learned where to place them and exactly how to line them up. Now, I want to leave you with one final thought as you head out into the world. Look around you right now. What amazing adjectives will you use to describe your day-to-day? Will it be a truly magnificent day, a curious day, a joyful day? The choice is entirely up to you. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, and keep using those fantastic describing clues.